Federal indictments came down today for the beating and murder of Captain Kevin Quick.
In those indictments, prosecutors laid out what they believe happened to Quick. But in a press conference today, we also learned how his death is tied to an extensive network of organized crime in Central Virginia. NBC 29's Alana Austin joins us live tonight with our top story details. Good evening, Alana.
Good evening, Steve and Sharon. Tonight, we learned that 4 people have been charged with the murder of Captain Kevin Quick. 5 others have been charged in connection to the case. And from the very beginning, investigators have been very tight-lipped on the nature of the case. But these indictments released today paint a picture that shows gang-related violence and drugs are somehow tied to Captain Kevin Quick. 9 suspects have now been indicted in relation to the abduction and murder of Captain Kevin Quick. 8 of them are also tied to convenience store robberies, home invasions, drug distribution, and what investigators describe as years of lawlessness. U.S. Attorney Tim Hafey says these suspects from all over Virginia were bound together by an involvement in the Bloods gang.
We have among us members of criminal, violent street gangs. It is here, and it's something to which we must pay attention.
Even a well-respected member of law enforcement became a victim. Hafey says the group carjacked Quick earlier this year, drove around in his 4Runner, all the while using him to try and get cash from ATMs. That was before dumping his body in a remote part of Goochland County.
And the theory of that count is that Officer Quick was killed in part because he had been the victim of a carjacking and could potentially communicate to law enforcement about that offense.
This week, a federal grand jury indicted Daniel Mathis, Shantae Shelton, Mercedes Shelton, and Travis Bell for Quick's murder. Prosecutors would not speak specifically about a motive for the killing. Anthony White, Gert Wright, Anthony Stokes, and Devontae Bell were also indicted. All of them are tied to a variety of other crimes across Albemarle, Charlottesville, Fluvanna, and more. Leslie Casterlow is the only one facing a single charge, obstruction of justice.
We are going to, in law enforcement, continue to do our best to identify and bring to justice gang members like those who are charged in this case. But arrests and prosecutions alone will not solve the problem.
Louisa County Commonwealth's attorney says law enforcement at all levels have come together and now need the community to accept and move forward with addressing the insidious issue of gangs.
No one agency can address this problem alone. It is a collaborative approach of all these agencies represented behind us today, but also those that are viewing and individuals. It's going to take a community approach to address this problem.
Now, prosecutors did finally confirm to us today that Captain Quick died of a gunshot wound. We know from family members that he was also beaten and shot in the head. Now, if convicted, 4 of the suspects could face the death penalty. This trial has been scheduled for July 23rd, but according to the U.S. Attorney, it is likely that that will also be continued.
Alana Austin live in downtown.